Here we are and welcome back. In today's video we are going to tackle down Beep from Hack the Box. The machine operating system is Linux. The difficulty ranges between easy and medium as reported by the users. So the unique thing about this machine, we're going to approach the pen testing from a couple of corners, right? There are many ways to get root. So we're going to explore these ways one by one. Right, so here is the Nmap scan, and we have extensive list of open ports. Let me expand this one. Okay, so we have 22 SSH, we have 25 on SMTP email server, and we have a web server running Apache on port 80, and we have POP3 for email server as well. We go down, we have RPC bind, 143 for IMAP. Seems like this machine is used to provide it's like a public facing server, right? Email server, web server. We have here MySQL as well. Right, so these are the ports that have been discovered, and we have as well on SSH, I guess 443 hasn't been discovered. Right, okay. So basically, we start all the time. The first method to solve this machine, we start with the HTTP, right? So we open the console or the Chrome. Before opening Chrome, let me add to the host file. Okay, and down here, we have 10, 10, 10, 7, beep.htp. Okay. Right, so beep.htp. beep.htp, and we define here that we're willing to access HTTP. Oh, no internet. Yep, so I think the proxy here, I forgot to revert back with all changes since I used the proxy yesterday for another Hack the Box. So here, no proxy, apply, okay, and let's access. So basically, when I try to access the web server on the HTTP version, it gives me connection error. We click on advanced, and we are directed to the HTTPS version, and we can see here Elastic freedom to communicate. And Elastic is a type of software for communication, for PBX, IP telephony, faxing, whatsoever. When we click on view page source, you will see here more info. Okay, go down. So there is no clear version of this software, right? If we try with admin like we do all the time, doesn't work. Pretty mature, doesn't work. Okay, so basically the first way to get root access to the machine is to try to exploit the IP telephony application, which is Elastics. Now, given the fact that we don't have a version, right, we need to look for all of the exploits. So let's open a new tab, and here search exploit-w elastics. Right, so we have here a couple of exploits. You can try one by one, of course, but the two that have worked are the remote code execution, FreeBPX, and the one with local file inclusion. So now let's take a look at the exploit. We can always view the exploit in the browser, but this time we can also use search exploit. Here again, Elastics. to get the full path. And this is the full path of the exploit here. So we copy that and we type search exploits-m exploits. So this is the exploit. It has been saved to desktop. So let's view it in our local machine. 27. Right, so here is the exploit. Elastic is prone to a local file include vulnerability because it fails to properly sanitize user-supplied inputs. An attacker can exploit this vulnerability to view files and execute local scripts in the context of the web server process, which is in our case, it's data, right? This may aid in further attacks. Okay, Elastic is vulnerable, other versions. Okay, so let's see here how we can take advantage of that. Okay, so here it seems the proof of concept. So we navigate to this URL, vtiger CRM. So if we try to view that in the browser, here, we copy this one and vtiger CRM. And this also presents us with another interface to log in, which is CRM software. So we are here in front of a business web server that is used for business purposes, CRM, customer relationship management, to manage the sales and marketing of the company. And here we have the PBX to manage the communications, the IP telephony, and the faxing. Okay, so we navigate to this path. Let's try this. And we paste this here. Right, click enter. And we can see here, look what we have seen. Now we click on view page source. It presents itself in a more organized way. So basically we can see here username and passwords, right? So localhost, MySQL, asterisk, admin. So here you have the users, right? And if you go down, we can see more details about these users. So basically we have here, let's go up. So as you can see, if you read through these lines, we can see AM DP host, localhost, AM database engine, MySQL, AMDB name, asterisk, database name, and this is the database user, asterisk user, and this is the password, right? Here we have another password. Here we have another engine, username, and passwords. So we have actually, how many passwords we have? 1, 2, 3, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 passwords. We can use them. And now the one that have worked, if you try all of them with the asterisk and user admin, the one that has worked for me is admin and this one. So if we use these credentials, admin, here to log in, http dot now we have S. So admin, the work, let me go back, take this is the password, and we try admin and the password. So as you can see here, password reuse on this machine, right? And this is the telephony system, the elastics. And this is the dashboard. We have the PBX here. Fax, IM. Let's look at the user, change password. So if you want to look out the admin, you can look him out from here. The version elastic website. it's pretty much, it's good to navigate through the service you are testing and understand how it works if you're not familiar with it. So here's the status. We have instant messaging service not running. Other services are running. Performance graphic, simultaneous calls, hard drives, 6.66 gigabytes. And here are the CPU info. We have AMD 24 core processor, pretty much not bad. If you click on network here, so we have an Ethernet right device on the IP 10.10.7, which is the interface the PBX is running on. Click on the HTTP server, not enabled, clients. Okay, click on users. How many users we have here? Administrator, and we have the operator extension, right? These are the group list actually. If you click on users, we have only one admin. If you go back to groups, we click on the operator. There are no operators. Go back to groups, extension, no users, group permissions. So as you can see here, we have the groups and their permissions. And of course, the administrator group has the most privileges, right? So shutdown, hardware detector, update, not interested, backup and restore, click on that. So we can back up the configuration here, agenda. Okay, email, fax, PPX. So if you want to add extensions to your telephony system, like if you have multiple departments, right, and you want every department to be called on a specific extension, you do that here. Here we have the voicemail, operator panel, PBX configuration from here, which is this page. Tools. So we have CLI here. Let's type something like ID. Oh, so there's no command execution on that. Let's see here. Tool. We have help here. What is that? So there are the possible commands we can run. Command, the same in command, click execute, show channels. Okay. So I'm not sure here if we tap, let's go to Google here and understand what are the possible commands we can run. Elastics, asterisk CLI commands. Nope. Is there any manual for this? Asterisk CLI for IP info. Logger reload. Help. Let's type help here. Didn't come to my mind to type help. Right, so we have here the possible commands we can run. Execute a shell command, reload, CC cancel, kill a CC transition. Okay, these are the possible commands we can run. Show system info here. I saw something like that. Let's take this and execute that. System uptime. Actually, these info are shown in the dashboard, right? Okay, let's type this. ls. Did it work? All right. Help ls. So as you can see, that's how it interprets commands. So the semicolon is not interpreted. So basically here, there is no opportunity for command execution here. Okay, let's delete this and see if we have other tempting places we can play with. Reports, security. Right, these are the firewall rules. Okay, so that was about the elastics. As you can see here, we got admin access and we have username and password. Let's try the username and password here on the Tiger CRM. So admin, and we paste the password from here. So if we can log into the CRM and get customer details, sign in. So this is the Tiger CRM. I'm not sure that if this is popular. Let's go to Google, the Tiger CRM. Which is pretty real actually. Let's click on that. I haven't heard of vTiger before. I only know Salesforce, Zoho CRM, Microsoft Dynamics. vTiger CRM breaks all silos and enables sales, marketing, and support teams to collaborate seamlessly. Right. Sign up, it's free. Let's explore this here and see how we can exploit this. Okay, so I have marketing, campaigns, accounts, contacts, webmail leads, no leads. Okay, sales, support, analytics, inventory, tools, settings. Okay, let's go back to the home page. Okay, so we have here vTiger CRM version 5.1.0 here, right? So we can enumerate for the available exploits. So here, search exploits vTiger CRM. vTiger, nope. Okay, so our version is 5.10. 5.0, nothing in here. Let's dig more. Remote code execution, arbitrary file upload. So you have many actually. And since this is a 5.1.0, so we need to start from here and onwards. We can't go backwards, right? So we start from and go onwards. But since these are too many exploits, right? So we're gonna hop in Metasploit, MSF console. Right. Let's look for vTiger CRM exploit. Search, type, exploit, name, vTiger. So we have here vTiger RCE, vTiger logo upload execution, vTiger PHP execution, vTiger SOAP upload. So these, let's go back. We are 5.1.0. These won't work, I guess. This one or this one. Authenticated logo upload RCE. Let's try, this is manual. This is very recent. Well, let's try this one. Let's copy that and use, paste, right, show options. So we need to put the password, which we have, set password. We have it from the credential leak here. Take this and put, paste our hosts 7, right? Okay. Set lhost vac if config 1416. Set lport, leave it as is, and exploit. Do we need anything else? SSL, it needs to be true. So SSL, set SSL true. Okay, exploit. Exploit failed, no method error, undefined method body for nil class. So this didn't work. Okay, let's go back and try this one. No, let's try this one. Set SSL true. Or I guess we forgot to define the URL here. That's why it didn't work. So here, that's what we did. Let me go back to the previous exploit. Previous show options, set target URI, and it's going to be like this one here. So we take this, paste, again didn't work. Right, so previous, okay, show options, set Yep, I mixed things up. Right, and we have our hosts, our ports. Okay, exploit. All right, so here when I try this, as you can see, it's giving me that the key is too small on the server side, and because my OpenSSL version here is up to date, I can't connect with an SSL certificate on the server side that uses small keys, right? This error is triggered because my OpenSSL is very recent and up to date, so it doesn't accept connecting or negotiating with small keys, right? So most probably this won't work on my case, but if you don't have recent version of OpenSSL, maybe it's gonna work. But this is one way to get root access to this machine. Now the second way, guys, is to let me exit this. Okay. Right. So we go back here, and we have the where we are now. Okay. So the VPX here, local file inclusion, and we have the vulnerable CRM. The next way is to use the credentials. So basically, we can take this and we try. If you go back to the nmap scan, we can see here we have 22 open, right? So if we try to log into the SSH server, relying on the possibility of password reuse, maybe we get something. So sudo sh root, that's pip.htp. Unable to negotiate with port 22, no matching key extension method found. So in order to get around this, we need to define the key algorithm, right, to conform with the server policy. So here sudo sh-o, and we're going to define key algorithms. we have the L. It's going to be the key we have here. The key we have is Diffie-Hellman, right? So we will put that. We're going to take this and make the key as the server requires. Okay, and then we type root at heap.htp. But configuration option. So here it's going to be X, not Y. Right, so worked. Yes. And now we need to type the password, which is, going to copy it again and go back, paste. And this is your root access. You go to root, and this is your root flag, which is here. Okay. So that's the first way, right? So you get the local file inclusion vulnerability on the PBX software, enabled you to see some passwords here, right? Plain text passwords leaked in a file, which is not supposed to be leaked actually. And then we have another vulnerable application, which is the CRM, and we can use the Metasploit for that. But for me, it didn't work because of the OpenSSL variation between the version I'm using and the ones in the box. So you have two ways now, and you have the password reuse actually. So the password is being used in more than one place. That's why we were able to log in as root. Right, so if we go back here, we saw that vTiger CRM can be exploited with Metasploit, and let's see here if we can use a manual exploit for that. Let me split the view here. Okay, so search, exploit, vTiger. So vTiger here, as you can see, it is version 5.1.0, and just because I searched with vTiger CRM, I couldn't find this one, right? But now I found it because I searched only with vTiger. So we have a local file inclusion here that matches the exact same version of the current application, which is perfect. Now we're going to take this, copy it to our machine. Okay, now nano 1.8. So we have found these vulnerabilities in vTiger. In this example, you can see a local file inclusion in the file sort fields JSON. Okay, so we navigate to this path and we can get the password file. Seems great. So we take this, copy that, go here, and we take this out. And we get the password. It's a password file. Going through this, we can see we have root, we have what else? Spam filter. We have fannies here. We have asterisk, which is the VoIP config, which is related to the PBX here. Where's the PBX? Right. So here, if you go back to the okay, agenda. Where were we here? On the CLI, I guess. Okay. Email, fax, CLI. PBX. Tools. Okay, so here is the asterisk, right? And this user is the one that executes the commands here, right? The asterisk. Now, this asterisk has configuration file in the etc directory. So if you can see the configuration file, right, maybe we can view some plain text credentials. So basically here, instead of etc password, we're gonna type, I'm gonna take the password out and we type asterisk and then /manager.conf, which is the configuration file. Right, so you have the configuration file, and we can see here asterisk manager interface FreeBX needs this to be enabled. Okay. Assumes right. Admin. Right, so here you see the admin, right? And this is some password. So this is also the password that we use to gain root access via the SSH. You can find the root password as well here from the vulnerability of the CRM. So you have now local file inclusion in CRM and local file inclusion in the PBX, from which we can grab the plain text password to log into the root, login as root, right? And as we illustrated, the third way to accomplish this is to use Metasploit, but if your OpenSSL version is too recent, I am skeptical it's going to work for you. So you can take this password and log in to the machine. Right, so now, what else we can do with this machine? So we tried the Elastic's PBX software, we tried the vTiger CRM, we saw that there is password reuse vulnerability or misconfiguration. Now, if we go back to the Nmap scan here, we see we have MySQL, right? Now let's try to log into MySQL, which is saying unauthorized for some reason I didn't know. So let's go back here and end this. Clear. So sudo MySQL -h beep http -u. Let's try root. Isn't allowed to connect to this MySQL server. Right. Could be due to firewall rules, right? So we can't connect it to MySQL server. As you can see, we have unauthorized here, so we can't connect to it. Let's go to, so if we go back to the root box here, let's see the firewall rules that are preventing us from connecting to the MySQL server. So sudo iptables -s. Oh. Sudo iptables -l-v-n. Right. So in the firewall rules here, there is no rule for that. So as you can see, we can't connect from outside the box. There is a security precaution for this. So we need to create a new admin account and grant it the permission to connect to the MySQL server. If we want to do that, if we want to log into the MySQL server, we need to do that from here, from the local host. So basically here from root, we can type MySQL -i-h localhost -u root -p, and the password is, let's go back and connect with the right password. Paste. Right, so here we can create a new user. Create user, let's say Motasim at here we have this one, localhost. Then we have identified by and the password. We have an SQL syntax, check the manual. Yep, the host, localhost, right. So we take this like that. And we have the user. Right. So now we grant the privileges to connect. Grant all privilege on. So here star.star to great. Now I think all is correct. Now let's try to log in here. MySQL -http -u my username -p. Great, so we were able to connect. My password is motosim. Oh, work to the work to the work. So again, we got the same error. Let's go up. Create user. I think we have to do that 2 times in order for this to take effect. Yes. So here we forgot to put the percentage here. Identified by, and here we put your password. So here this rule for logging in outside the box. This one to log in locally, right? And this one to log in right from anywhere. So we click on enter, and now we grant all privileges on star to at from anywhere with grant option. Okay, let's try this now. So we have been successfully logged into the MySQL server, and we bypassed the security precaution. Of course, if we didn't have the root access from here to the box, we wouldn't have been able to log in. To put this in mind, right? We wouldn't have been able to log in here and do that unless we had the root access or any kind of limited access to the box that could enable us or enables us to manipulate with the MySQL here. Okay, so we have now MySQL, and now we can list all of the databases, right? The usernames, the passwords, whatsoever. So show databases. So we have here the asterisk. We have MySQL, vTiger CRM, round something. Right, so let's use asterisk. Oh. Reading table info for completion of table columns, we can turn off this feature. Okay. Okay, let's see the tables now. Show tables. So we have these tables. Let's look for usernames, admin, amp users, right? manager, users. So select star from users. As you can see, we have one user here. Password is not shown. No password. Okay. What do you have else? Let's see, admin. Variable version. Right. Okay. Let's see now other tables, other databases. We have vTiger CRM. Let's see this one. Round cube. Show tables. Cache contacts users. Select from users. Empty. Let's see contacts. Also empty. What's the point of this? Let's go up. We found this one and this one. We already know the users. My A2 billing and meet me. Okay, you can also discover and enumerate these databases. This is extra, by the way. And from here we can gain another um, right. So from here we can as well get another reversal just from MySQL. So how we do that? We just need to do a couple of steps. Let me exit from the above session here. Exit. Right. Clear ls. Okay. So from here, we need to create a new table first. Create table. Name it as CRM test. And then we put here line, loop. Right. So insert into here CRM. Let's put the values. So here, let's put a new file. Load file. Load the library file of MySQL, SQL.df, which is a very popular way to exploit MySQL and convert it into reverse shell, by the way, using the UDF library. Sys.so. Now we close the parentheses, 1, 2. Okay. Now select 0 from CRM test into file, and we'll define the location. mysql.show, and we close the code. All right. Can't create file. Oh, okay. So it seems like we can't do that. The MySQL user can't create files or write. So we stop here on this. We can't continue. Okay. So another way to get reversal is to here, if we go to browser and we type https beep.htp 10,000. There is a webmin instance running here. Bad requests. Continue. And we have also a webmin interface. Trying with admin all the time, login. We see here it failed, but there is something revealed over there in the URL bar. We have session login.cgi. And as a pen tester, whenever you see CGI, shell shock vulnerability pops in your mind, right? So in order to understand if this application is vulnerable without knowing the version of the webmin, we don't know the version of webmin, right? We can't search for an exploit. We can search, but we don't have the luxury to look through all of these exploits and try them one by one. So seeing CGI, it should pop up the possibility of shell shock vulnerability. So how do we make sure this is the case? We need to use the perp suite, unfortunately. Right, so now, as you can see here, I open my perp suite and we're going to intercept the request, right, to manipulate and test if there is a possible shell shock vulnerability in the CGI. So we click on again. So we see if there is a request. Now, to test for the CGI vulnerability, we need to manipulate the user agent. Right, so we're going to do that manually. So here we're going to replace this, delete. Now, what we're going to write here, we're going to write 2 parentheses, and then two brackets, and between them, 1 space, right, 1 semicolon, and then another one. Right, so then we type our own command that we want to test for. So basically, we can try for, I don't know, who am I? Who am I? And we test this. So let's click on forward is off, and we forward nothing. Let me refresh again. Okay, so we might need to try something else. Let's try with curl or dwget. So basically, in our own instance or command line, we will launch Python web server. So sudo up. So I think we typed the wrong command. Sometimes clear. We joined the M with the hyphen. Okay. Now let's go back, and here we will try different stuff. So basically, we will cancel this one. Instead of form, I am going to type echo and try to invoke wget and get the request from our own IP. Forward. Let me check. Oh, we forgot to specify the port. So basically, we repeat the request again. Okay, now we paste. Forward. We haven't received anything. Our IP is correct. Let's go back to where we were. Okay. I think here we have some problem. So this one is the semicolon, and now user bin, and let's try OMI. Okay, do an accept the response. Let's see what do we have here. Let's look for a username. No, didn't work. Okay, let's try then the duplicate. So here, duplicate from our IP 10.14.16.8,000. Now forward. So as you can see here, there is a vulnerability. Why? When I manipulated the user agent, and as you can see here, it responds to my request to pull something from my machine here, right? So this means that the machine has shell shock vulnerability, or the CGI application. So what we can do here, we can use another command, right? Like, let me disable the interceptor, Google. Or I think I need to disable the proxy again. Let's go down. So here we will say no proxy, apply, okay, and try to invoke Google again. Right. So bash one-liner. Take this one, and then we will re-enable back the proxy. Right, and then re-execute. Right, so here again, two parentheses, and then we type the command echo. In this case, going to be the reverse shell. So paste. Okay, so here we modify the port, which will be 4547, and here our IP 14.16. Yeah. So let's go back and cancel this one. And forward the request. Okay, where is my reverse shell? So I didn't connect back, which is weird. .14.16. Okay. What have we forgotten to put here? I think it is the path. So I didn't understand the path. We'll specify the path here. Bin bash. Right. And then we run this. For 547 and nothing. Okay. If I specify here 443 with sudo, right? Let's go back and again. Let me copy that. And I have this, I didn't change this. 14, that's 16, and here 443. My mouse has crashed. Okay. Forward. Now, weird enough, I didn't get anything, which is very weird. I'm gonna try for the last time. And we will look again at the command. Echo. Let's put space here, bin bash dash I, and this is our IP. This is the port. And yeah. Forward. If I put back for 547, maybe it's permission stuff. We have the echo, we have bin bash dash I, which is the one here. Okay. Forward. Still nothing. All right, let's try here with a login process instead. Admin, and try. Maybe this time we would get something. So forward to 4547. Right, so finally we get the reversal, and you are root at beep webmin. So basically, now you have it all. Multiple ways to get root access, and the most importantly, we understand how this attack worked. It's a password reuse. Most of it is password reuse and out-of-date applications. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Cheers, and see you in the next video.